begin this public hearing, I'll begin by reading the notice of public hearing. Notice is hereby given that the following hearing will be held in the Bonneville County Courthouse, 605 North Capitol Avenue, Idaho Falls, Idaho, March 6, 2023 at 2:30 p.m. by the Bonneville County Commissioners for the purpose of public hearing in relation to the application by Ellsworth and Associates on behalf of 2MB LLC for a rezone from residential agriculture RA1 to limited commercial C1 zone. General location of this is located east of Amy Lane, south of First Street, west of Ammon Road, and north of Leroy Drive in Bonneville County, Idaho. There was a legal description published, and this was published February 18th, 2023 in the Post Register. Those present are all three commissioners, Austin and Gwen from the Planning and Zoning Commission. So we'll begin by having, are you presenting this, Austin?
Yeah, and do you want to make all the minutes and everything part of the record?
Okay, yeah, I was just gonna get to that. But we do have, for those who are here, we do have the copy of the minutes from the Planning and Zoning hearing. Without objection, we'll make that part of this record. So, you members of the public, you don't need to repeat a lot of what's in there. We'll read it. So Austin, do you want to go ahead and summarize the presentation?
Yeah. So Commissioner Christensen read the notice, which kind of summarizes what the request is, which is RA1 to C1. A couple months ago, we had a comprehensive land use hearing to change the land use to commercial here to allow for this to be considered. If you want to go to the next slide, Glenn. So it's a 1.6 acre tract. You can see on the map here where the existing commercial is above to the north of the green highlighted area is the country corner area where the country corner storage units are located, and they're just proposing to extend that commercial. If you go to the next slide, zoning where it's currently RA1, they've carved off the house on the corner of there and are proposing to expand the commercial zoning to the south in that area. And then next slide, which just kind of shows us an overview of the property and where it's located. There's nothing really unique about this hearing. You probably read as you reviewed in the minutes. There is some concerns and public testimony about the irrigation and how the water will continue to be delivered, but as we know, that's a state statute that has to be held up that will be taken care of at the plating stage just to address that. So it's really a pretty simple application. Any questions for me on what they're trying to accomplish?
Questions?
With regards to what they're trying to accomplish,
Or just the rezone itself?
well, I noticed in the meeting minutes, there was concern by neighbors that this would just be the first step in a larger step to continue. Things kind of seemed like got maybe a little heated there. So what are you, this is the rezone, right?
Yeah, this is the rezone. There was some discussion in the meeting about the concern of the commercial continuing further south on Ammon Road. The Planning and Zoning Board actually addressed that kind of by saying it's a case-by-case application, so we have to look at the one that's in front of us right now and determine if that makes sense, and if others further south were to come to us, then we'd have to look at those at that time to see if that makes sense or not. I think a lot of the concern there was having, multiple accesses out onto Ammon Road as you continue south, and that's kind of a major arterial mover road. So that's how that was addressed. So that's something, that as you consider your decision, if you think whether this makes an impact to the commercial extending further south or not, is probably something you should take as part of your consideration.
I think on the minutes, they also pointed out further south you go, it's almost a homeowner by homeowner. And unlike this one, it's a plain piece of property, they'd have to buy a structure.
Right.
Question, in regards to that, is this photo correct? It looks like there's a fence. It looks like it's in the boundary line, and I know it really isn't gonna have a bearing, but it looks like it's encroached over an existing fence that's there.
On the west.
Yeah,
It's been taken down.
Yeah, I'll let the applicant speak to that, cause I know they've surveyed it and know
Yeah.
exactly where the lines are as well, so.
okay.
So that one in the picture, it has been taken down.
Let's hang on, because we gotta get your name and address for the minutes.
Sorry about that.
So,
I'll wait until.
Yeah.
okay, now we'll go ahead and let the applicant or engineering company or the coach that's on Zoom or.
My name?
Blake Jelly.
Okay.
Steve Ellsworth and Associates, 253 First Street. It sounds like the fence that is on the west line has been taken down. The property has been surveyed and a preliminary plat submitted. Obviously, we need to get through the rezone in order for you to be able to see the preliminary plat, but we have submitted a preliminary plat behind this in hopes that the rezone goes well. Any of the concerns that were addressed about the water, like we said, we would definitely make sure that everyone gets their own water. As far as commercial extending further south, to me, I don't believe that's gonna be the case, where again, people are gonna have to buy a house lot with a house on it in order to try to level the house to get a vacant lot for commercial purposes. Seems like extremely pricey ground in order to try to do any commercial development. If there's any other questions, I could try to field those at this time.
Yeah, I noticed, I think it was this, and they had in the minutes that you're required to have a fence, like 6-foot fence we generally require.
Right, that's a,
Would you be replacing fence?
yeah, I believe that's a requirement of the site plan. I believe it's a 6-foot opaque fence that would need to separate the commercial to the residential property. That would be done at the time of the site plan.
Okay. Questions? Okay, thank you. Are there any members of the public for this hearing? You're here for the next hearing?
Where's the next hearing?
Oh,
Oh, okay. Anybody online? Okay, with that, we'll call this hearing to a close. We'll have planning and zoning, Austin, you'll prepare some proposed findings for us, visit with each individual commissioner. Those will be scheduled for adoption, and it'll be a public meeting, but not a public hearing. Usually we do those on Wednesdays with Road Bridge. I'm guessing probably within a couple weeks on these.
Yeah.
Okay, with that, we stand adjourned.
thank you.